Before I finish this letter, I'd like to tell you all a story you'll remember forever. Once upon a winter, a mother made up her mind. She had 2 boys, but wanted one more in their lives. Her and her husband tried until it seemed hopeless, but thanks to God, the door to life opened for this child to be chosen. And thanks to him, his mother found out that she was dying, yet she was crying tears of joy for her 3rd baby boy. They named him Ryan.
What would you like to name your baby boy?
We know exactly what to name it.
That kid is something special. I'm glad he loves his mama. He caused my heart to melt so much from the gifts he gives on Mother's Day. Goes out his way to make a homemade card for me to save. I got so much to say, so where do I begin? Let's talk about his intelligence that makes my head spin. His consciousness was gained before the other kids around him. He even learned some words I was surprised he was pronouncing. I guess that when it came to people, he was apprehensive. Instead of focusing on friends, he focused on his lessons. It made me think my baby had some type of mental issues, but he was just secluded cause no one was smart like him too. My grandfather said my baby had a very special gift. He's the one that told me that my son was born with perfect pitch. Who knew that he would be so into music? Before the violin, he loved to sketch volcano blueprints. I guess we should have seen it coming, given how we raised him. Then Baby Einstein DVDs did wonders when we played him. His brothers like to pick on him, but they know that he's smart too. Oh yeah, my baby's also got the biggest heart too. I love my son like how my son loves everything we give him. I don't have favorites, but if I did, I'd probably pick him. But don't tell anyone I said that, I'm like partially kidding. I hope he stays a while, if he leaves, I'm gonna miss him. A miracle that boy is, like I'm on 34th Street. He's gonna do some great things in life. In fact, I'm sure he's gonna take the world by storm. He's got the touch of Midas. Truly excited to see people recognize him, my baby Ryan.
I am the best.
Those were the words he wanted to believe, but his mind told a different story.
In middle school, the only thing he wanted was connection to friends that would rock with him and see him as impressive. Remember, this kid was only 13. Coincidentally, that was the age where he was most prone to hurting himself. But only mentally. It didn't help that manipulation was people's specialty. A child as pure as the son of Mary didn't fit in this environment, so he had to adapt, indulging in new slang and bad habits. Why would he do that? Instead he went against his peers and tried to stand out. In fact, he had the impression of a sore thumb down pat. A woman took notice, and that started a pattern to last for many years to come. His introduction to love was someone punishing him for all of the actions he'd done that the woman saw as dumb. It was a slap to the face, quite literally. She laughed in his face after an embrace. They saw it as strange, they, as in every kid that knew him. But it gets worse than that, this one decision had screwed him. A friend of the woman he dated craved attention. Fake depression made him stress when claiming that she'd to save her life, he had to lie and say she was the prize he had his eyes on. And suddenly her bygones were bygones. Imagine balancing 2 relationships at the same time, 2 potential broken hearts occupying the same mind. And when they saw each other, all you'd hear was fighting. A ticking time bomb was sure to go off in his mind when they test the patience of a saint. So no surprise when the child that loved his life started having thoughts of dying. His name is Ryan.
No matter the fall, always get back up.
Give me a break, you never did enough to be considered as great. Trying to fake that confidence getting you nowhere. Now you expecting to change? What do you see in yourself? Tell me, what do you see? Cause people see someone who's weak, somebody that's easy to take advantage of, not somebody they need. Second chances come second nature. You a people pleaser doing all these favors. Too nice for your own good, making any excuse to defend haters. Being selfless ain't come with benefits. Look at yourself, doing too much for the people that never gave back when you actually needed their help. Look at your friends and tell me, do you believe that they care? Feel like it's up in the air. Do they reciprocate the way you want? Are you unaware that people use you? There's some people that you're scaring away. Maybe it's fate, or maybe they choose to leave when they're finally bored of your traits. Why do you talk so much? Hey, why is you sitting that way? Why do you try so hard? Hey, why don't you eat every day? Why don't you sleep at night? You act like your life isn't great. Why don't you talk to your parents? Why don't you act like you're straight? Why do you hide information? Why can't you fix your mistakes? Why do you act like a hypocrite every time you're in the state? Why don't you listen to me? Listen to me when I speak. You always listen to everyone else, but you never take time to practice what I preach. You ain't a king at anything, no, you're not even close. You're just a boy who dreams too big, and now everybody just sees you're a joke. Ryan couldn't keep denying that he was in pain. He couldn't hide behind the character he had portrayed. No way to call for help, cause asking for it was the last thing he wanted. He silently broke down in tears and pondered, do I deserve to live? That was a question that had been interrupted after receiving a message. It read, you better be home, cause I'm coming to check in to make sure you're okay. That message was from a woman named Alexis. And now I'm here. So this is why my flesh and blood will permanently be on this song. This is precaution for in case there comes the day where I'm gone. It could be now or later. So if that day coming soon, at least you'll know my final thoughts on you. Here's who I'll give my flowers to. My mother and my father really do the best they can. I know it ain't your fault when things can't always go as planned. You gave me everything and more, I owe you way too much. But I know what you'll say to that, you owe us nothing. Yeah, but I'm your son. And speaking of your son, the other two you raised are great. I hope they take care of you too if I ain't there to help that day. To both of them, I hope you feel respect for mama and our father, cause who knows when you two end up 6 feet in the grave. To grandma and grandpa, I love you both. I know there's gonna come a day where you can't hear that from me anymore. So I'ma say it now, I'm not holding my peace. Hey Grandpa Leo, if you were here, I'd say the same thing. Oh yeah, I can't forget my aunts and uncles or my cousins, or any of my closest relatives, you know I love them. Yo Anthony, you still got lots of time in your life. Whatever you do with it, give it your all, that's my advice. Same to Justin, you not my cousin, but you still my family. Keep a level head, cause life can drive you to insanity. Lex, you'll always have a special place in my heart, along with every friend I made that saw me make it this far. Word to Bobby Sessions, cause my life feel like me versus me. Gotta close the gap from who I am to who I wanna be. And who I wanna be to most people is surprising. Trying to be one of the greatest rappers alive. Yours truly, Brian. To all of you, including the ones not here with us today, I love you all. My name is Ryan Thomas Kiral, and I am creating one new non-profit artist. I hope to see you all again soon. Sincerely, Sinner.